Well guys, just a quick briefing. It's early morning, October. Had a guest down the other day, a friend of Margaret's. Her name's Janet Greenwood. She used to play as a child with Alan Gillespie and her father being best of mates. So she's coming back down. We're going to do a second walk around and she's going to give me some history of what she remembers. That's a bonus. It's only a quick one guys. Second part of this, a lot of people around the local areas. 16th century farmhouse just over there. It's going to be phase 1 by the way. People trying to ask what's phase 1 and what's phase 2, when it starts, demolition, what's going to be built. Well, what's going to be built is outlet shops, I've been told. Was 8, then 6, then 4, then 1.5. There's all sorts of stories being twisted. So far within the plans, the actual plans should be right on this area here. That's phase 1. Down about the road included. It's running through between this, where it splits, that 16th century that side. This was also because we got a barn up near the gate, same Queen Anne bricks as stated before. So we're trying to get the original plans of what was along from the actual linked farmhouse up to that barn. Things are missing because this lot here, which will be phase 2 by the way, this is 1884 in build. But saying that, there's a couple of barns here with sandstone. Not Cotswold stone by the way, that was my mistake. It was dark that night. So a bit of a mix. We're trying to find original plans. We've got some sort of like an appointment with Woodall Colliery. Apparently, not Newcastle Library or Blyth Library. Apparently they hold most of the actual records. So we're going to dig into them, get the story right for you, not twisted. But back to this anyway. So excuse Dan, he's having his breakfast. My pal. Yeah, so over here, there's going to be a co-op. Also, if it's going to be 8 or 6, the outlet sort of shops or whatever they're going to be, is definitely, we've been told, a Greggs, a Subway and a Starbucks. No more, no less. That's what we've seen, that's what we've been told. People are going, there's going to be a speedway here. There's going to be a marina inserted. There's going to be supermarkets of all sorts, bingo, arcades. That's not the story. On the actual plans, as I say, Starbucks is one, Greggs is another, and Subway so far. We don't know any more of what's going to be inserted here on build. What's going to run, but along with a co-op by the way. As I say, mainly that's phase 1. That's all the land around it. The house. There's a couple of barns at the back. That'll all be demolished. As far as I know, there's one pillow with a splinter sink on top. This is down on the floor actually. It's going to get crated up. It's got something to do with the hotel, the pub, or maybe it's going to stand on its own as a monument, as a face to the actual complex. The second pillar to that, we know for sure, for some reason went to Wallington Hall. Have been up there to investigate. The people there so far have come up with nothing. They sent me out to a few fields. I've got a funny feeling it could have been used as short material to another monument. That is on my site somewhere, you'll see it. But the column, the pillar, it don't exist in Wallington, like it's not standing anywhere. So far, we're going to dig deeper, see what happens anyway. All that's been saved from phase 1 is that. The one on the left hand side, still standing, it's over there. We'll refilm that for people that's missed it. Or if you want to go down the site, you'll see it. It's on one of the Linked Farm sort of films. But there you go guys, no more twisted stories. That's what's going on phase 1 so far. As I say, with the outlets, if it's 8 or 6, we don't know any more of what's going on there. That's the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me. The caravan here, it's not been open since 1994. We've had a pre-look inside, we're going to film it for you. It's full of stuff. And by the way, to the Robin Hoods out there, there's nothing worth breaking in there for. It's just old stock. You know, it's been there years. you'll make no profit out of it. Please don't go breaking in. Leave it alone. It's just old clothing and calendars on the wall. As I say, with the actual caravan, it's shared between years. I mean, I think Leslie started off the caravan site down there where the flats are, down that direction. I remember seeing it in '88 once. Old-fashioned caravans, nothing like today's statics and all the designs. He ran for so many years. He got cancer, back of the neck, I got told. He was in his greenhouse a lot. Apparently he might have caught it from in there. He went down to Blyth to live with his sister, I'm told, and he passed away, sadly. And Trevor Hartley took over. So this caravan was moved off the site. It's the only surviving caravan between Alan and Trevor. It's doomed. I mean, the chassis underneath, it's rotten. It's never going to like do anything to go anywhere. It's all mouldy on the outside. It's had its days. Inside, it's like a TARDIS. It's immaculate. When we actually opened the place up, it was hard to believe just how well kept over the years it's done. That's the last of the caravans between the Gillespie site and also Hartley, Trevor Hartley. I got told by one or two that's been on this farm living for years, it's come back to us. Trevor lost interest in running it as a farm. Wasn't actually running as a farm, I think also with Alan. It just became a market garden, sort of like, I don't know, allotment sort of place, you know, growing veg and all sorts of products. But things are coming to light, you know, it's not just with checking the records, going through research. It's nice that now we're getting people who back in the day were on this place as a child and all that, and they're visiting quite regular. We're gathering up all the actual like history of the place. The Blyth, if I remember, that's another site we have. It's pretty good actually, it's strong, lots of members. There's on there, we're tracking off from off there, like yeah, the people that used to be the tenants to the owner of the place. One of the Ridleys, I think his name was Young Nick. He was handed this, so it states with the records where it's written down. It's actually mentioning like 1732, 1784, going through the years. Finished, Danny? Going through the years, who the tenants were. It's interesting. It's all coming together. We'd like to get like as much history as we can with Links Farm before it's all gone. With the building still standing for now, you know, address the actual history, what was going on. We know there was goats in there, where Danny is now, going up to the barn door. Goats are kept in there. There was cows on the farm, all sorts of breeds of cattle. No mention of sheep. There's an historic hedge over there somewhere. 110 acres, was it? The farm used to run right up that way. It's downsized a lot with its grounds. What do we have as well? We have two sisters living in the actual farm cottage. That's that building there. That's the last tenant was Margaret. She's still with me. She's been on here 38 years. She's obviously got a lot of history. But before her, there's been different tenants in there. But two sisters are mentioned with an old classic Elvis car. There's quite a lot of people lived in that house over there, the main farmhouse. That's straight up to the top there. But we get Janet down, and there's three other people. There's people that worked in here. One's in his, was he 86? He's got loads to tell us. So there'll be different changes, different years. It'll be interesting. As I say, we can catch all this before the buildings are flattened. You know, it's kept for history, not just on paperwork. For the future generations, like, yeah, they'll know what was here. A bit more detail than the average. Yeah, it's seen some good times, this place. I'm afraid that the what's happening now, mainly, is all the roofs, it's all old Welsh slate and all that. It's all giving way. Sadly to say that before it gets demolished. You know, before it gets demolished, I think there'll be a few collapses. Could be dangerous. As usual, guys, please stay off. Please do not go in the buildings. It's all open ground. It's quite easy for you to access, but if you go in, especially if you're on your own, something comes down, hits you, you know, we're ill all the time, but sometimes some of the buildings are locked. You've gone in a certain way, we don't know you're in there, you're injured, or to death's door. How can we help? For your own safety, please stay off the farm. Because we've had a few incidents like that with people like trespassing. We don't want to see anyone getting hurt. The roofs are dangerous now. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Hilton.